Asubhanupasing viharantang indriyesu susangvutang bojanam hi cha matanyung sadhang aradhaviryang tang ve napasahati maro vato selangva pabbatang. This verse is clearly the twin, the pair to verse 7. And what that means for us is the structure of this verse is exactly the same as verse 7. We can refer back to verse 7 for the grammatical breakdown. What we'll focus on here is just the meaning of the words and then a different way to translate this. So to begin with, we have this word asubha nupasing. This is the negated form of subha nupasing. And there are more or less two ways that this can be understood. We can think of this as negating subha nupasing. In other words, the opposite of someone who contemplates, focuses upon the beautiful. Or we could think of this as negating subha with anupasing, not negated. Someone who contemplates or focuses upon the not beautiful. And instead of not beautiful, what we'll see is, or what this is taken to mean, is the impurities. So someone who leads their life or lives life contemplating the impurities, or the other way, just negating this completely, someone who leads life not contemplating the beautiful. These might seem to be the same thing, but I would point out, if you're interested in Zen at all, you might look into the Mumonkan, that's the Japanese title, the Gateless Gate, a collection of koans. Look at case 11. And the question is, are we talking about someone who is contemplating something, the beautiful or the not beautiful, or are we talking about someone who isn't fixated upon anything at all? I leave that up to you, dear listener. The next word we run across is susangvutang. The base of this, the root of this is sangvutang, meaning restrained. And then affixed to this is the prefix su, indicating some degree of goodness. So we might say well restrained in the senses. Matangyung is simply mata plus nu, not negated, knowing the right measure, perhaps moderate. Now, sadhang is taken to be an adjective. Again, this is accusative masculine singular because this is all in apposition to our tongue. Sadhang means faithful, and aradha viryang is energetic, someone bent upon energy, resolved, firm in energy, energetic, not lazy, in other words. Then if we go down here into our simile, this also has a simile, we have selang and pabbatang. This is the object of vato. And just like before vato, the wind, we have to go back before and pick up the verb. I should have said, actually, napasahati might look a little different, but this is just the negated form of pasahati. Pasahati is to overpower or subdue. Napasahati is does not overpower or subdue. So the wind does not overpower selangva pabbatang. Pabbatang, accusative singular masculine, meaning mountain. Selang is accusative masculine singular, an adjective describing mountain. Rocky, a rocky mountain. The va, again, is the shortened form of eva that introduces our simile. So in terms of trying to translate this, last time we took the approach of keeping the same order as the verse. But if you go to the Access to Insight website, you'll find that they have two translations of the Dhammapada, one by Buddharakkhita. His translation actually starts with the simile. And I think this is a really good an interesting way to translate this. So we would start way down here. Just as the wind does not overpower a rocky mountain, death does not overpower the one who is energetic, faithful, who knows moderation in eating, who is well restrained in the senses, who lives a life not contemplating the beautiful. And lastly, I would just like to share a bit of a Thai translation. Pu mai dok ben tat kong kwam swai nyam. Again, apologies for the pronunciation. This is addressing the Asupanupasing. The Thai translation says, one who does not become a slave to beauty. It's interesting, they actually use this word tat, which is a Thai pronunciation of dasa, the actual Pali word for slave. Death does not harm the one who does not become a slave to beauty. And again, as always, dear listener, I will leave it to you to contemplate if you think this translation is in any way helpful.